Assalamu alaikum, dear students. As we have discussed chapter number 3, solution and suspensions, we have discussed basically solutions and suspensions and solubility and the strength of the solutions as well. Today we are going to discuss the last topic of chapter number 3, that is the uses of solvents and solutions in homes, industries, agriculture and medicines. So first of all, I would like to tell you the useful applications of solvents and solutions in our real life. So first of all, the first example or the application that I would like to tell you is the air that we breathe and the water we drink are the examples of solutions and solvents that keep us alive. In the same way, minerals have to be dissolved in water to form solutions before they can be absorbed into the plants through their roots. So, if we will talk about the applications of solvents and solutions in homes, then water is considered as a best solvent that is used in homes for cooking, washing, bathing, making drinks, and cleaning, cleaning of clothes and other things. In the same way, tea leaves do not dissolve in water, but we see that some of their flavor is present in the water. In the same way, glucose, coffee are also made in aqueous solutions. As I have told you what is meant by aqueous solution. Aqueous solution, such a type of solution in which water is used as a solvent. So, in coffee and glucose, for example, before we drink it, we will make its aqueous solution. So, water also dissolves like detergents and many types of stains. So, it is used for cleaning purpose. Now, I would like to tell you the applications of solutions or the solvents and solutions in industries. So many industrial processes such as manufacturing and chemical industries involves chemical reactions. So most of these chemical reactions can only take place in the presence of solutions. And if we will take an example of water, so water is used as a raw material in the manufacture of food, drinks, textiles, soap, shampoo, detergents and cement. And if we will take the examples of heavy industries and aerospace industries, then these industries use alloys. So alloy is basically a solution that is formed by the combination of two types of solids. So heavy industries and aerospace industries use a great variety of alloys which are actually solid solutions of different metals. Steel is also another example of solid solution, that is also an alloy, that is the alloy of iron and carbon, and it is mostly used in metallic materials in building industry. So turpentine and alcohol thinner, all these materials are used in the manufacturing of paints, ink, dyes and other colored materials. Now I would like to tell you the application of solution and solvents in case of agriculture. So when we apply fertilizers to the soil, we also need to apply some amount of water so that plants can absorb the essential nutrients which are present and which are dissolved in water, because the roots of the plants absorb these nutrients by the help of water. So fertilizers with different solubilities have to be mixed in different amount of water. If we will take an example of hydroponics, in hydroponics the roots of the plants are immersed in solutions containing nutrients. So Another example or another application in agriculture field is the poisons such as weed killers have to be soluble in water in order to be effective in killing weeds. Now we will move towards the last application in the field of medicine. So when we discuss about the field of medicine, in different types of medicine drugs, often we do not have a pleasant taste. The reason is that because they are usually mixed with sugar solution to form either a solution or a suspension. So different types of medicines such as cough mixture, antiseptic lotions, eye drops, vitamin C enriched drinks, all these contains basically water, and these are solutions, and these are solutions that are formed either by solving into the water or in another material. I would like to give you an example of such a type of medicine, that is a solution of iodine in alcohol is used as an antiseptic. In most of the medicines, basically medicine drugs are dissolved in common solvents such as water to form the solution. So this is what that we have to discuss in the complete chapter of solution and suspension. Now it's your turn to solve the review questions completely, as well as you have to do the workbook 2 questions of section ABC. All you have to be complete, and then you have to send me the pictures of these workbook exercise questions. Now we will move towards our next chapter, that is acid and alkalis. Now, first of all, I would like to tell you what we have to be covered today from this chapter. We will cover the topic of acid, names of different types of acids, and I will explain the general properties of acids as well. So, first of all, I would like to tell you what is meant by acid. So, acid is the word that comes from the Latin word acidus, which means sour. So all acids have a common property that all acids have a sour taste. If I would like to tell you the examples, acid sources can be of two types, natural sources and artificial sources. So acid, I am going to give you the example, synthetic acid, and that is also the artificial acid and the natural acid. A slice of pineapple, a car battery, a bee sting. A slice of pineapple is the natural acid, and the car battery, a certain type of acid is present inside the car battery, that is basically the synthetic or man-made or the artificial acid, you can say, and the bee sting is also a natural acid. Now we will move towards certain types of other examples, that is malic acid is present in apples, citric acid is present in lemons, and tartaric acid in grapes, and carbonic acid in fizzy drinks. All these 4 examples are considered as weak acid. Weak acid means whose strength is low. So such a type of acids are good for the health as well, but you can see that carbonic acid in fizzy drinks, that is not a natural, you can say, acid, that is a synthetic acid. Now we will move towards the strong acids. So strong acids, the first and the main example of the strong acid is hydrochloric acid. So hydrochloric acid is a strong acid produced in our stomach to digest food and kill bacteria. I am going to tell you another example of strong acid, that is sulfuric acid. So sulfuric acid is another strong acid that is used in car batteries. So there are different types of other examples such as nitric acid ethanoic acid, that is also known as acetic acid. These all acids are present in our school laboratories as well. Now I would like to tell you some common acids and their uses. So first acid is hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid is used in cleaning metallic surfaces before they are coated. Whenever we are doing a coat of paint over the surfaces of metal, we have to clean the metallic surfaces by using the hydrochloric acid. Now come towards the second type of acid, that is sulfuric acid. In sulfuric acid, basically what is the use of sulfuric acid, I am going to tell you. First use of the sulfuric acid is it is used in making of plastics. It is also used in the production of fertilizers. And the third use that I am going to tell you is the functioning as electrolyte in the batteries. So batteries basically contains two types of electrolytes. So these electrolytes, in electrolytes, two types of electrodes are there, that are anode and cathode. So it is used as an electrolyte in batteries that are commonly used in our homes, the batteries that are attached with the UPS as well. Now come towards nitric acid. Nitric acid is used in making fertilizers and explosives. Now the next acid is ethanoic acid. Second name of ethanoic acid is acetic acid. Acetic acid is also a weak acid that is used in preserving or the preservation of food. For example, if we want to store pickle, then which type of acid we will use? Ethanoic acid. And it is also used for cooking. Now come towards next acid, that is citric acid. Citric acid is used in making a healthy food. Last acid that I am going to discuss with you is phosphoric acid. Phosphoric acid is used in making fertilizers and inhibiting the rusting of iron. So phosphoric acid is used to remove the rust of iron as well. Now I am going to tell you the general properties of acids. So general properties of acids are very important because it make the difference of acids and alkalis. So general property of acid, first property that I am going to tell you is most acids are corrosive, because the corrosive liquids which can burn our skin and react with many materials including metals. Hence they needed to be handled carefully. If for example, if we will take an acid and get it in our mouth, then what should we do? First of all, we should spit it out and then rinse our mouth with the plenty of water. If any acid comes into contact with other parts of our body or the clothing, then wash it thoroughly with the plenty of water. Now come towards the second property, that is all acids have sour taste. So if you want to experience what is the taste of the acid, then you should taste some vinegar. Then you will detect that after tasting you will observe that its taste is sour. Now come towards the third property, that when acids turn blue litmus paper into the red. Fourth property is aqueous solution of acids are good electrical conductor. So that is why sulfuric acid is used in car batteries to produce energy to start the car. Now come towards fifth property. Fifth property is dilute acids react with active metals to produce hydrogen gas. For example, if we will take an example of zinc, zinc is an active metal because it has a property to react immediately with a certain type of acid. So hydrogen gas is produced when zinc react with dilute hydrochloric acid. The products that are produced after the reaction are zinc chloride plus hydrogen, and we can also observe the pop sound of the hydrogen gas if we will bring a burning splint near the test tube in which we have dissolved the zinc and dilute hydrochloric acid. Then we will observe a pop sound of hydrogen gas because it is produced when a burning splint comes into the contact with the gas. Now come towards the sixth property. Sixth property is dilute acids react with carbonates to produce carbon dioxide gas. So calcium carbonate plus dilute nitric acid, we will get after the reaction calcium nitrate plus water plus carbon dioxide. Now again there is an experiment to check that carbon dioxide gas is produced or not during this chemical reaction. So carbon dioxide gas can be identified by passing it through a clear lime water, and carbon dioxide forms a white precipitates when bubbled into the lime water. Now I am going to discuss the last property of acids, that is when acid react with alkalis, it forms salt and water. For example, when hydrochloric acid react with sodium hydroxide, then sodium chloride, a salt is formed. So the chemical reaction for this type of this property is hydrochloric acid plus sodium hydroxide. After the reaction we will get sodium chloride plus water. So you have to prepare from page number you have to prepare page number 29 to page number 32, and in our next class inshallah we will discuss about alkalis. And there is an homework task that you have to do. As I have told you that you have to complete your chapter number 3 workbook 2 exercise completely, as well as you have to do chapter number 4 review exercise question number 1 and 2, and you have to submit these exercises to me as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.